Welcome to First and Goal, where everything is made up and the points don't matter. Get ready for the latest and hottest topics in the SML. Let's get started. Here's your host, Mad Bomber.
Welcome to this week's episode of First and Goal. This week we've got obviously Prime, 16-time champ, licking his eyebrows, probably giving himself the coronavirus. Now he's got a hurt neck. We got QP again. He's making his second appearance on First and Goal. And then we got two first-time guys, Hova and Muse. Is that how you say it, Muse?
That is how you say it.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's
You
impressive.
just beat me. All right. So I can tell you what, you're probably not going to win tonight, at least not for a second time. But
Yeah, I knew I was walking into a hostile environment here.
Yep.
So,
But our first topic we'll go with, and we'll start with Prime on this. Which team scares you the most this season, at least as far as going into the playoffs? Prime, we'll start with you.
Can I say none of the above? AFC, there's a big three. There's Bomber, there's myself, and there is Dan. Obviously, Bombers, you're in your mid to late season skid, pretty normal, no panic button, no big deal. But I can't pick you because of that fact. Now, myself, I lost to Coop recently. I'm not playing super well, but I'm winning games. And Dan, although he has like a mega team, I can't say Dan scares me until he starts playing up to par. He got some decent games left in his schedule. He plays me. He also plays. He has another marquee game left on his schedule, Faz, I believe. So we'll see how that plays out. Now in the NFC, there's some guys, but Dookie's no longer here. So I can't say much of anybody. I know Dump's playing hot right now. Everybody loves how Dump's riding Edens, but you know how it goes. Until when a girl blinks at Dump, it looks his way, he falls in love. So it's just a matter of time before he starts slipping again.
All right, so Prime with the longest no one. Washington, QP, we'll go with you. What team scares you?
I don't want to go with the obvious in the Broncos and Dan, so I'll avoid saying him. I'm going to actually say RD and the Rams. One, he took me to the shed earlier this year and just smacked me. I couldn't do anything. I think I had like 11 QBR with my QB. But he averages 34 a game. He's top 5 in the rushing yards. We always talk about Dump in his rush game, but he's right up there as well with the rushing. He's only, 400 yards behind Dump with Cam Akers. And then that pressure, top 5, I think in sacks, top 5 in interceptions. He's just all around really balanced. And another one on the panel, I know we always kiss Prime's ass. I'd say Prime as well. His pass offense right now, top 3 as well. And he's playing really good defense. If you look at him this year, his defense has really improved to me personally, because I think he gives up a lot of chunk plays, a lot of big yards, but it doesn't seem like he's doing that as often this season, and it's obviously effective in his standings.
Well, that's eval points going QP's way, baby.
I knew that already. That's why I had to do that.
That's good because first and goal points came off the board. So. All right, Hova, how about you? What team scares you?
I can't hear him.
Yeah,
No.
he's muted.
We can't hear you. Oh man, technical difficulties. That's minus points for sure.
Who's a good lip reader?
I think he said that someone needs to stop asking for scouting reports. Maybe let's go to DMues in the meantime.
All right, we'll go with Muse in the meantime, and then just Hova, if you can get your mute figured out, we'll just edit it in later. All right, Muse.
perfect. So I haven't been here a full season yet. I joined in the middle of this season and still kind of learning my way. I haven't played everyone yet. So it's kind of difficult for me to answer up front. So I kind of just took it by a you are what your record says you are approach here. The Broncos look scary. They're the only unbeaten team left in the SML. They are second in points scored and second in points allowed. Their quarterback has like a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. And I watched him play in the Super Bowl when I was in primer. So I know this isn't a one-off. It's not a fluke. So that's definitely someone that I wouldn't want to encounter. If we take it over to the NFC, the Rams are up there for me, just from what I've heard from Q. I know he beat him pretty bad earlier this season. And I'm going to throw Q and the Washington football team in there only because I've played him a million times, and I don't know, anything can happen in our battles, and we just know each other's tendencies too much. So it's an intimidating matchup for sure.
All right, Hova. Nope, still muted. Are you? There should be like a little microphone button.
I don't think he's muted. Check your this thing or something. Maybe it's your input settings on your Discord itself.
Oh yeah, maybe you could put it on speaker. Is he on his laptop or his phone?
I think like laptop.
Laptop, yeah.
Laptop, yeah.
So on the bottom left, you should see user settings, the gearbox. Push that and go to voice and video and make sure that it has the correct audio input selected. Because otherwise it would show the muted. See, watch, I'll mute myself.
That's true.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, I can always edit in that you said the Jaguar. Oh, there you go.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Hear me?
Yep, we got you now.
You're good. You're good.
All right, Hova, what team scares you? It was about to be edited in the Jaguars.
Right. Hey. First of all, I apologize, fellas. The Minnesota Vikings. That team is by far the scariest team, in my opinion. You just don't know how, you just don't know how to plan for that team. With Cook, Thielen, Jefferson, it's a lot. So I would have to say the Minnesota Vikings, by far. That's my opinion.
All right. So that's going to take us to topic number 2. Topic number 2 is with the early success of the rookies that are coming out of this last draft, do you think it's going to have an effect on this draft as far as the value of running backs going up? And we'll start with you, QP, this time.
Yeah, I do. I think that it's really obvious if you look even in the MVP right now, like Brandon Bayless for the Ravens, NYT, he's like 6-6, and he's like the number 1 offensive player of the year right now. And then obviously we know all about Edens. We know about your guy with Hendricks. The guy from the Raiders, I don't know, I forgot his name, but the guy from the Raiders, that's like the number 1 player in the whole draft. I think it shows that the running back class is really, really deep. And I definitely think people want to start getting rid of those older running backs, the guys that are hitting 28, 29 years old. Where their contracts might be coming up. Nobody wants to pay a running back. I mean, I'm one of those guys as well. I got Aaron Jones on a rental. I do plan on cutting him. Can't say this year or the next year. But I didn't scout running backs, so I definitely do think that we're going to see a lot of running backs get taken just based off the success that we're seeing from the rookies.
All right, Hova, what do you think?
I agree with QP. And I also believe, running backs are like nobody pays attention when it comes to, scouting running backs. Everybody else looks at other positions, and, everyone for the most part think that I could get a running back in the 3rd and 4th round. But yes, I think this year you're going to see running backs go earlier than usual, because of Edens, guys like Edens, players like Edens. So, yes, I think, yeah, that's it.
All right, yeah. So Muse, what do you think?
I'm going to go in a different direction here. I know there's some success from rookie running backs in this league this year, but I just took a look around the league, kind of looked at everyone's roster and kind of assessed who might need a running back, and there just aren't that many teams. I found about 7 teams that could use a running back, and that means that their current running back isn't a superstar or an X factor, and they're 28 or older. So that was my criteria there, and there were only 7 instances of this. And the success of the rookies is also pushing veterans down the depth charts on their current teams. So those guys could become available in the offseason. So I just don't know that the need for running back is widespread enough to make a huge impact on the draft. I haven't been a part of an SML draft, so I'm not sure where the running backs typically go. But based on my experience in other leagues and other Madden franchises, I would not expect to see a major shift where the running backs get taken, just because I don't think the need's there necessarily.
All right.
Let me just say, hey, I think it's easy to say that when you got a 99 overall Christian
having
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey might devalue those other running backs.
The need definitely isn't there for the Panthers.
What do you think, Prime?
Yeah, I think that seeing a few drafts now and being a part of the league for a few years, I've seen this happen every cycle or so, where usually the bad players get the elite running backs because they pick in the top 10 or even the best quarterbacks, and they kind of go to waste. Like, you never truly see the best quarterbacks really flourish. Like for example, KJ, he got that superstar X Factor quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a great passer. That quarterback, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he's never going to be 99 overall. Same with usually the running backs. But this season, the elite players got the elite running backs. Looking back at last cycle, we've seen when Meats got Freddie Golden. We've seen when Noel, who was an elite player last year, got French. So honestly, no, I don't think that it's going to impact where they go. I just think that I think that people believe if they get a fast running back with good change of direction, they'll be fine. They're going to take their pass rushers, they're going to take their cornerbacks, and they're going to try doing it that way. I don't really see a big change happening, because this is a trend that happens every so often, and I don't see us breaking away from that trend.
I tend to agree with you on that. Other than I do think the number 2 overall pick, at least as it is right now, will likely be a running back. That's Raider. And I think he's going to be looking for another Greer. But I don't think it's going to matter. He looks pretty bad so far.
Yeah, that running back might get to 90 overall just because he's going to be an X factor, and I mean, we've seen how Mahomes is looking so far this season.
All right, so that's going to take us to topic number 3. Number 3, I'd say our top 6 seeds in the AFC are fairly locked in. The order may change, but for the most part, the top 6 seeds are locked in. What team do you think gets that number 7 seed? And Hova, we'll start with you on this one.
Because Dookie, our good friend Dookie, said that Lions and the Jets would never make the playoffs. So I am going with the underdog, and I am going to say Latin Yank will get that seventh seed.
Oh, brother, you're spending that chair
He'll probably
too much.
get smoked the first
that
round,
too
but
much. No
he'll
way.
make the playoffs. I'm going Latin Yank with the New York Jets. That is my pick.
Okay. All right. He's willing to put himself out there on that one. How about you, Muse? What do you think? 7th seed in the AFC.
I think it's going to go to whoever does not win the division out of the Browns and the Ravens. When I was looking through the teams in contention here, I was looking for something that sets them apart. I saw the Ravens have 2 defensive players with 8 or more interceptions, so that's just an elite skill to have on your defense that will separate him from the pack. The Browns are on a 4-game losing streak. I know he's had some tough L's here lately, but I mean, there's a reason he started off how he did. These losing streaks, I've had them in my past. They typically don't continue. So I would expect whichever one of those 2 teams does not win that division to grab that 7th seed.
All right, Prime, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the safe pick.
Prime.
Yeah.
Prime, before you answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the current standings in the AFC? 5, 6, 7.
Off the top of my head, I'm not even looking.
Does anybody have that?
I'm saying Dan, number 1. I'm saying number 2, myself. Number 3, I'm going to go with Paulie. Number 4, I'm going, oh, Lord, I'm going to have to go with NYT. Number 5 is Bomber. Number 6 is, I don't know, who cares?
Future, I think.
Future. And number 7 is the Chargers right now. So I think the cute thing is to say the Browns or the Ravens, whoever loses between those two. But I think those guys are going to lose too much, and I think that it's going to be between Coop and the Chargers, DW. So you're going to see between Coop and DW. Coop's biggest matchup left is the Panthers and DMues. That's going to be a big game. Coop can surprise some guys with that defense he's built. I said Chargers on Total Access. I might be leaning Coop now. So I'm going to say Coop's going to make it, and he is dangerous if he's dialed in and if he's laying off that cush.
All right, and QP, who do you think?
Prime definitely stole my dark horse. I was trying to come in and be sneaky with Coop as well, because I think as well, I forget about the NFC North. Those guys go 8-8 every year. We know that they're going to be uninteresting between their battles. I think Browns will pull it out, but I want to go Coop. I think that, like Prime was saying, I think he has the Falcons, Panthers, Texans, Saints. That's, in my opinion, 3-1 at the worst, probably with the loss to the Panthers, but he could go possibly 4-0 if he sticks with Henry and if he happens to get, those 15-yard runs early on, because that defense has like 10 out of 11 superstars on the roster, and sometimes that can be intimidating. So I'm going with Coop.
All right, yeah, I think.
And don't lay off by the way, don't lay off the cush either.
Ooh, okay.
Well, that may not help your choice there, but I'm sure he'll take your advice. So topic 4, with Dookie gone, and we've got 3 NFC guys here on the panel. But with Dookie gone, does the NFC even have a chance to win a Simbardi? And we'll start with you, Muse.
I think so. That's a little bit of a bet on myself, but just looking at the conference, Minnesota 11-1, they're number 1 in points scored. The NFC actually has 3 of the top 4 teams in terms of points scored this season. So there's offensive firepower within the NFC. Dookie was a great player. He was tough to beat. I played him 3 times, 1 and 2 overall, but I did get a win any given Sunday, right? So you put one of these top NFC guys against any AFC guy, and it could happen. I think it would be irresponsible to say there's no chance the NFC can win Simbardi. I know the favorites might lie in the AFC, but I think the NFC definitely has the offensive firepower to at least make it a game, and I see no reason why the NFC can't pull one out.
All right, so if you had to pick, who's it going to be that's going to win one?
I haven't seen too much of their games. I like what Dump's doing with Edens. I know we covered that here. I played Vikings. He was pretty good. His defense was good. He's 11-1. You are what your record says you are. So the favorite right now is Minnesota. It's not a sexy pick, but I know he's played in a Super Bowl in here before, and
half of one.
I don't know. And I don't know. I think the NFC can do it. I'm rooting for us.
All right, Hova, as somebody that's lost to pretty much everyone in the NFC, who do you think, or do you think they have a chance to win the Simbardi, and who do you think it'll be?
Absolutely. It's between. It could go Dump. It could go Muse. It could go Faz. It could be Detroit as well. I mean, we still have 3 more seasons, so.
Okay.
But yes, NFC should be able to win. I'm going more than 1. That's what I'm doing. I'm saying NFC will win 2 of the next 3 seasons.
Okay. All right.
What happened, Prime?
I'm just waiting my turn.
All right, let's go with QP, and we'll finish up with Prime since he's the lone AFC guy. QP, what do you think? NFC going to win one? And if they do, who's it going to be?
Absolutely, I think we're going to win one, at least one. That's if we're going to win one if Faz makes
we
it.
We also have Meats.
And Dan doesn't make it. If the AFC knocks Dan out, we will win. If Dan doesn't make 2 of the next 3 Super Bowls, the NFC will win 2. I'll say that. And with that being said, Faz will win one of them. I think that Dan does live in his head possibly. But I'll never bet on myself. I mean, I'll never bet against myself. I know that my record and my again, amongst everybody, amongst the top tier guys, doesn't show. But I'll never bet on myself. I made the NFC Championship last year. If I was to bet on somebody on the NFC, it'd be myself, Dom, Vikings. We're all winning one. One of us are winning one. We're coming out with one of these, possibly this year.
Okay. You're going to agree with Hova in the 2 out of the next 3? Yeah, I didn't think so.
If Dan doesn't make it, yes.
Okay. All right, Prime. Go ahead.
Yeah. This NFC patty cake, little whole hand tickle fest is just making me sick. Just making me sick. Honestly, they don't got a shot. No chance. Not at all. And here's why. I'm just going to start firing shots now. DMues, the flats to CMC, never going to win a Simbardi. Never going to win a Simbardi. Q Pierce, pass interference, can't win you Simbardis. You're just going to stop at some point. Meats is the folding chair. Meats never going to win a Simbardi. He would have done it by now. He had Golden. He had Hollywood Brown. He had Lamar Jackson when Escape Artist was Escape Artist. Couldn't win it. Dump, like I said, if a girl blinks at him, if they accidentally look at him, he falls in love. He falls. It's like Cupid arrow hits him, and then he just blanks out of Madden. Faz, he's caught up in Marvel Comics. Dan is living rent free in his head. When Faz sleeps at night, he has dreams of that Super Bowl that he botched, like a 17-point loss. And Chova is too busy giving out scouting reports to other guys to focus on his game, so Chova can't win one. So honestly, I don't see it happening. I think that me, Dan, and Bomber are too good, and we're just going to take turns. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, it's true. So I think me, Bomber, and Dan are gonna take turns, and AFC is going to rule the world.
Every NFC team needs to save that video clip and watch it before they play anyone from the AFC moving forward.
Let's go.
Just use it as motivation.
Let's
I'll
go.
definitely be coming to meets for like one of those videos, the hype video, if we ever meet up.
Let's go.
All right.
ready.
Well,
I'm
after
fired
that
up.
rant, that's going to take us to the final 30-second rant. Prime pretty much used it all up right there, but our final score is going to be Hova 16.
Mama,
Yeah.
Mama, what do you think?
Oh, I don't think the NFC has a chance.
Let's go.
So Hova 16, Muse 20, Washington 21, and Prime 125. So Prime is our winner for this week.
Let's go.
Prime, these 30
I would
seconds
like
are
to-
all yours.
I figured
Yes.
that. I knew that.
I would like to take a moment and pass this on to Hova. I want to give Hova the 30 seconds of talking. I've done too much.
Well, nobody's going to argue with that. Hova, you're up for 30 seconds.
Nope. It's all yours,
All right.
Prime. It is
AFC,
all
baby.
yours, Prime. All yours.
Goat it up. NFC, you guys will never hold one of these because AFC's dominating, baby. Let's go.
All right. So Prime, for once, didn't use all 30 seconds. But that's going to do it for this week's First and Goal. Appreciate you guys being on. And
Thanks for having me.
till next week, this is
Thanks for
First
having
and
us.
Goal.
Thanks for listening to First and Goal. Be sure to check out Mad Bomber TV on Twitch and YouTube for the latest from the SML. And we'll see you next time on First and Goal.